Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is a paid request from Sean. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it, man. Anyone wants to request a review or movie re-review or a random topic or video game let's play or let's try for an hour or whatever the case, PayPal is usually the best bet, or join my Patreon. Links are in the info box here or over there. And this is for the 1989 film Family Business. Directed by Sidney Lumet, who did Serpico, the original 12 Angry Men. Did a pretty good Vin Diesel film called Find Me Guilty. Did Dog Day Afternoon, I believe. And then the film stars Dustin Hoffman, Sean Connery, and Matthew Broderick. So it seems like, wow, this is a pretty stacked movie. And pretty much, Sean Connery's the grandfather. Dustin Hoffman is Connery's son, and then Dustin Hoffman is the father of Matthew Broderick. Thus, Matthew Broderick is Sean Connery's grandson. Now, granted, how you go from Sean Connery to Dustin Hoffman, I don't know, but that's movies. So, Dustin Hoffman is on the straight and narrow path, working in the meat market, the meat packing plant market. And he's trying to teach his son, Matthew Broderick, to go on the straight and narrow path. And while his son is very smart on school stuff, he still is partial to everything he's heard about his grandfather, played by Sean Connery, who was a thief and did these capers and did all that stuff. So it seems like the more Dustin Hoffman tried to push Matthew Broderick away from that, Broderick instead was more infatuated with it. To the point that Broderick hangs out with Sean Connery more. Dustin Hoffman doesn't like it because of the possible bad influence. And Broderick comes up with the idea of this taper. This taper being this guy, which I find it funny, it's a scientist, BD-1, because it made me think of his character from Jurassic Park. Like, maybe it's the same character. This character will grow up to be that character in Jurassic Park. But no, the names are different, but anyway, the character names are different. But somehow they're supposed to break in this facility. They have the T card. Get this plasmids is what they're called, and this logbook. And the taper really isn't that interesting. It seems like it's not meant to be that interesting. Pretty much. And then it's billed as like this fun taper comedy, but it really isn't that fun. It really isn't that funny. The actors do what they can. Sean Connery definitely has his moments, to be fair. But then the second half becomes this very super serious drama that's trying to tug at your heartstrings, even involving death. And I'm sitting there going, the shifts in tone isn't really the best in this. And I found the film just rather bland. And I had to see why the critics were not gung-ho about this. I had to see why this film did not do well at the box office. Hell, I had to see why my friend Mike OCP Communications, he reviewed this film. And he wasn't gung-ho about this either. He wasn't a fan of this either. He did like a 30-some minute review on his channel years ago. I don't know if I could go 30 minutes because I'm sitting there going, what the hell could I talk about? Because it didn't feel like much happened during the movie. It's Dustin Hoffman trying to tell his team what to do, which honestly made sense. Like, everything Dustin Hoffman said made sense. Broderick's character being a whiny prick. You know what you're talking about. Stop telling me what to do. I'm going to listen to my grandfather. Yeah? So Dustin Hoffman joins just to watch over the kid. But then at the end, we're supposed to believe that he still kind of enjoyed it. And they try to put these little bits in where Sean Connery's like, show the real you. And like there's a moment where someone was stealing meat from his company. It was actually Luis Guzman, who's been in a lot of stuff, Luis Guzman. And Dustin Hoffman beats the hell out of him. So I guess it's supposed to be that while he tries to forget those times he had with his dad, Sean Connery, he deep down had fun and misses it. Just deep down he hates his job at the meat packing company. And because he hates his job, somehow he's taken that on his son. But I'm like, well, the way Dustin Hoffman's talking, I'm like, he's making sense. Because then lo and behold, what happens is, spoilers, the jump ahead. They do the robbery. Matthew Broderick forgets the law book, goes back in. Stupidly forgets to use the key card that he's supposed to, because he's never done a robbery before and he's in a hurry, so he forgets. He gets caught. Lawyers are saying he may get 15 years. Dustin Hoffman, of course, is pissed at Sean Connery. And then Sean Connery's pissed at Dustin Hoffman. Because, listen, your kid wanted nothing to do with you. So that's pretty good parenting. I'm like, no, maybe it's just there's some prick kids that don't want to learn jack squat. I mean, if Matthew Broderick is still romanticizing about this, even though he's been caught, even though he's been told he'll get 15 years, seemed like he was more worried about Sean Connery getting caught than his own dad, which your dad is innocent. He had nothing to do with this. Like, Broderick is the one that came up with this plan. And then, come to find out, the taper was all BS. Meaning, there was no plasmids and secret law books and secret things. BD1 lied. This thing was just tap water. Law books had nothing in it. BD1 lied because, hey, if there's something stolen, we could blame it on that. We weren't ready with our research. Now we got 6 more months, or 7 or 8 more months, because our stuff was stolen. Give us more time. Okay. So now we got 6 more months of free time to be able to work out the kinks in this situation. So Matthew Broderick came up with the plan and screwed up because he trusted the wrong person, was made to be a fool. I don't remember there being a scene where Broderick finds this out, that the stuff he stole was fake. Maybe it did, and I was so damn bored I forgot. You forget? Sometimes I forget. A lot of times I forget. I'm sorry. I screwed up. Poo-poo on me. I don't give a fuck. Because I thought the movie was fucking boring. I thought the film sucked. I thought the film sucked ass. I thought the film was boring as pissing during a golf game. I don't even play golf. If I did, it'd be miniature golf because it's less boring. Watching golf is about as exciting as this movie. Now, Dustin Hoffman and Sean Connery do the best they can. Matthew Broderick, after Tatum will leave him. I think he does a good job in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. But it's hard to kind of look at him the same way because he's a prick in real life. Because he got in a hit and run overseas during the 80s. Killed 2 or so people. And just ignored it. And didn't do anything to help that family. Never paid for his crimes, which is fitting here because he doesn't pay for his crimes here either. And even though it was all his fault. So maybe that's another thing that kind of hit home. Like, wow, you screwed up, and now people are suffering. Granted, I mean, they're adults too, so they agreed to it. But technically, this is all your fault, and you didn't get any payment for the crime. Because if you're wondering, just look up Matthew Broderick Hit and Run. I know, separate the actor from the act. I know, separate it. I could do that from time to time, like Ferris Bueller's Day Off, I can, and then other stuff. But Godzilla 1998, I enjoy him in that movie. But yeah, maybe just the predicament of the character remind me of his predicament in real life. So, there you go. I mean, what a prick. He acted like a prick in this movie too. So again, maybe that's why it was hard for me to separate in this film. There's more spoilers. What happens is Dustin Hoffman, he turns him and his dad in. I recognize the judge. The judge is the principal in Back to the Future. And he was also in the Dolph Lundgren Masters of the Universe as the cop who helps our lead characters out. What's his name? Was it Strickland in Back to the Future? Yeah, Mr. Strickland. What was the actor's name? James Tolkien. He was also in Top Gun as well. Yeah, James Tolkien. He was in Masters of the Universe, Back to the Future films, as well as Top Gun, among others. So it was nice to see him in this. I do like the line when Sean Connery says, "Hope you're never on the tape. Did you come to prison where I'm at? You're leaving feet first." So I mean, Sean Connery does have some nice energy to him. The bit where Dustin Hoffman does this to Sean Connery and Sean Connery's like ready to punch him. So I don't think Sean Connery's the problem in this. I don't even think Dustin Hoffman's the problem with this. I just thought this was a very milquetoast boring script that really wasn't as funny as it thought it was. Or maybe it was never meant to be that funny. And it just come off as a bland movie. Like, unmemorable. Very forgettable. And maybe that's the better word. It's a forgettable film. It's why you mention, what? These actors were in the same movie together? Then when you watch, you go, oh, yeah, they were in the same movie together. Okay. And, well, some liked it, of course. Every movie has its fan. But I think a lot more people be like, well, it was okay. I'll never see the film again. And like I say, was this the worst film ever? No, although I did say it sucked. It sucked in the fact of it was disappointing because of the people involved. Like, if I'm taking a step back and going, okay, in all fairness, is this one of the worst films of 1989? No. Is this a 1 out of 5 star movie? No. But do I think it sucks emotionally? Yes, because I think a film with these actors and a guy who made Serpico and 12 Angry Men, in my opinion, should be a lot more memorable and a lot more hard-hitting and a lot more just memorable. That's just me. Listen, the caper is very, very unexciting. It's probably one of the more boring capers you'd ever think of. And that's why it makes it funny where near the end of the film, it says spoilers. Like I said, Dustin Hoffman turns him and his dad in. Matthew Broderick and Dustin Hoffman just get probation. Sean Connery gets jail time. Matthew Broderick is pissed off at Dustin Hoffman. It's been like, I don't know, 6 or so months. He doesn't want to talk to his dad. I'm like, wow, what a prick. Well, he turned his own dad in. Yeah, to save your sorry ass from not being in jail for 15 years. Maybe he should have put you in jail in 15 years and have lotion on your cream pie hole and have some Tutti Frutti stuffed in there and see how much it takes to get to the center of your Tootsie Pop. Okay? Matthew Broderick, Maddie, bum cakes. Maybe your bum should be a cake, and here's the filling. Hope it's extra gooey for you. Just like you should have gone for the hit and run thing you did in real life, and your character should have gotten in this movie. Had the bum butt cake to cream pie filling. Little Debbie style. Or non-Little Debbie style. Game Bane, my fuck Bane style. Be my guest. There's the business of the family business. Sorry. I'm not sorry. I meant every damn word I said. I don't know why I have this accent now. Been in Texas too long. So this prick's like mad at Dustin Hoffman when he did the right thing to save his sorry ass son. I'm like, your son don't deserve to be saved. And so what happens is Sean Connery is getting sick in jail. Matthew Broderick tells him, Dustin Hoffman. Hoffman goes to see his dad, but it's too late. His dad dies without Hoffman saying sorry or anything, which is pretty depressing idea-wise. And then all of a sudden, Broderick forgives his dad. Granted, I guess he's listened a bit to what Sean Connery said, but still, fear there'd be a bit. Oh, and then he asks, it talks with Dustin Hoffman where Sean Connery, he was fun. Okay? Yeah, I was your kid. And I was a straight and narrow path, but I was never having fun. He was fun. I'm sitting there going, yeah, you'd go to college for free and probably meet a lot of women to bang. That could be fun too, Maddie. Chicks look at your bank account for being smart and rich. You'd have some fun. That'd be some great fun to have. But anyway. And then he asked Dustin Hoffman, when was the last time he had fun? And Dustin Hoffman goes to the caper. Why? What was so fun about the caper? They push a couple buttons on a T card. Dustin Hoffman steers a guard. They take some stuff. They leave. They make it seem it was this big adventure on the caper. This big adventure where Dawes was chasing them. They were going up and down the rooftops. They were hanging off ledges. They were swinging like Tarzan. They were jumping off and with belts and sliding down. While this guy, loved you, Conan the Barbarian, is trying to fry their ass. None of that happened. Not in this movie. None of that happened. So why the hell would Dustin Hoffman say he had fun on a caper that was boring as hell? I didn't have fun watching it, so why the hell did you have fun doing it? It's part of his character. Yeah, it's a crappy part of the character, crappy writing. If you don't make it a fun caper, then have it be an exciting, fun, crazy caper with ups and downs and lefts and rights and adventure and wow, that was so crazy. There's nothing about it of that nature. So what are you talking about? And just Broderick being a whiny prick. You came up with the caper. You came up with the idea. You didn't know. I still don't know if he knew by the end that it was all fake. That you got screwed over. You got the wool pulled over your eyes. It's your fault. Dustin Hoffman smacked him in the face. Smack him again. One more time. Bitch slap him for good nature. The actors are not bad, but the story, the script, there's a few moments of Sean Connery that made me smirk. Dustin Hoffman pretty much plays the wet blanket. Matthew Broderick I found just be the whiny prick. So there wasn't a whole lot for the characters I could really root for or be intrigued by. Sean Connery and Dustin Hoffman don't really give much of finale to their story with how much build-up they put into it. So even that whole story, they're working with each other, is anticlimactic, because the whole climax is that Dustin Hoffman doesn't get to have last words with him, doesn't get to have last conversations with him, doesn't get to say goodbye. He gets there too late. So all that build-up is for nothing because there is no conclusion to that story other than Sean dies. But their actual relationship, anything, there's no conclusion to that. So you don't even, in my opinion, get a satisfying conclusion to that bit of the story. So if people like the film, that's fine. I thought it was boring. It felt long. It was uninteresting. Whether it be the caper. Again, it's sometimes labeled as this fun comedy caper. It's not that way. If people think it's that way, they're going to be very disappointed. Some will like it just to see these actors. I can understand that to a point. But then I would just go, you know what? Each of these actors have done better things. Matthew Broderick, I enjoyed Project X, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Godzilla 1998 even. Hell, Tower Heist I'd rather watch than this. I didn't love Tower Heist. I have a lot of issues with Tower Heist. But I'd rather watch that movie than this. Speaking of a caper with Matthew Broderick, I'd rather watch Tower Heist than this. That has its moments, especially Eddie Murphy. This, I didn't think, Damn, for a guy that did, like, Find Me Guilty and Supercar, I expected a lot more and a lot better. With that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.